Howdy folks, welcome back to another Bad 66 Chevelle video here. I'm working on the Turbo 350 here. And this video is going to be a little backwards, but that's alright. Went ahead, I was checking our new seal to make sure it's going to fit right, and all that looks good. Let's compare it with the old one there. There's the old one. I just took and, to get it out, the easiest way to do it, it's got 5 bolts on the back, and then you can take your cover off, and then you take the piston out, and I put a little piece of tape because there's like a check ball in here. I'll show that to y'all. It shouldn't fall out, but just in case, I put a piece of tape on it. There's a check ball right there, but I didn't want it to fall out, so I put a piece of tape on it. And I took, in order to get that old seal out, what I did, I just took and got a hammer and a screwdriver. It's actually a body hammer, but it'll work. And when I had the old seal in there, alright, I had the old seal in there. I just took a hammer, took a screwdriver here, got up underneath between the rubber and the bushing, and just made sure not to hit this bushing here, because you don't want to do that if you're going to reuse it. Mine are in really good shape, so I'm going to reuse mine. But I took and just hit it on the side a couple times. Hit on that side one time, come over to this other side, tap it a couple times, and if you want to make sure you don't mess the bushing up, you can always wipe it out real good, and take a piece of tape, put it on the inside. That way it doesn't chance of you scoring this bushing here, because you don't want to do that, because your converter goes up in here. That bushing's for the converter. Now my bushings are in really good shape. I didn't really replace any of them. Didn't really see a need to. All of them look really good. They weren't worn funny or scored or burned up or nothing. This one looks really good. Now once you do that, then you can take your seal out. Make sure it's got that spring on there. If it don't, it might have fell off, but it don't matter. It's old anyway. That's how you get that out. Just tap it out really easy. Not a big deal. It's easier to take the two halves apart on the pump and get the seal out first, because I like doing this first. That way it's out of the way. That way when I put it back together, it'll be done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little seal here. I got it on my finger here. I wiped all of it out real good. I'm just going to put just a little light coat on the inside. Just like that. Don't need much. Just a little light coat. Probably don't have to do this, but I do it just to be safe, because I don't want it to leak. And once you do that, then you can take this new seal, make sure the spring's on it. This one's got it on there. Set it on top like that, and I got a board. I got it sit on top of a rag here, that way it doesn't mess it up. I got a board, and we will set that on top right here. Okay, we'll set that right on top just like that. Just tap it in real easy, make sure it's straight. Once you tap it a couple times, you'll get it started to go in like that. So I got one side started, get the other side started. And once you do that, you just keep doing it till it's flush down at the bottom. So I'm going to tap it in there a couple more times. Alright, so I got it tapped in there a couple more times. It's hard to do and film at the same time. But you just make sure it's in the middle. You don't have to hit it hard. It'll go easy. Once you do that, take your block off. We'll set our pump up. You want to make sure that it's pressed all the way in there. Okay, this one's pressed in. You want to check all the way around. Make sure it's pressed in all the way. Just like this. Once that all looks good, I'm going to flip it over. You want to check, make sure that spring's still in there. Mine's still in there. I can feel it. And once you do that, that pretty much completes that. The only other thing you really have to do is just take maybe a little carburetor cleaner and clean it up real good, wipe it all down. Make sure you use like a, don't use paper towels because it leaves lint. You don't want to do that. And then we can start putting the pump back together. Hope that helps a little bit. Had a couple people comment on the video. I'm just trying to help a couple people out. I know they're not the best videos, but this is the way I do it because I try and save money doing this. I'm not going to pay a shop to do it because they, for just that seal right there, they'd probably charge you a couple $100 or more because you got to pretty much pull the whole transmission out, and then it's just better off to take the whole pump out and put the seal in like this because it's a lot easier to do because you got the shaft and all in the way, and it's easier to pry it out and press it in like that. Now you can do it with the shaft in if you can find a big enough socket to fit on this. You don't want to hit it right here, then you'll mess the seal up. You want to hit on the outside where it's orange. That's how you do that. I hope that helps a couple people out here.